Hey, good day. Namaste, whatever. So this is it, y'all. Stud count. I kept getting messages. People were so anxious to get stud count, so I'm about to give you stud count. I'm gonna give it to you. So when we're talking about stud count, we're gonna be dividing by 16 because we're talking about 16 on center. So anytime you are laying out studs to build a structure, you count 16 in on center, right? 16 in, 16 in. So that's what we're gonna be doing. Um, as if we're building a frame. So we're going to start with a freestanding wall. We're not talking about an entire room yet. So first thing we have to do is convert inches to feet. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Convert feet to inches by multiplying by 12. If you have inches, add it to the inches that you already have. Then we're going to be dividing by 16. And then we round up when necessary. It's always necessary to round up when you have a decimal. Consider it as change. We're talking about material. So anytime you have a decimal, when you're dividing by 16, you round up one whole stud, one more stud, and then you always add one for the starter stud. That's when we're talking about a freestanding wall, which we're going to start off with. But when we're dealing with an entire room, you have to add 2 studs per corner. So if you got 4 corners, and it's 2 per corner, 4 times 2 is 8. You would have to add 8 extra studs. Okay, so first we're starting with a freestanding wall. So we got a wall that's 13 feet 10 inches. Freestanding wall. First thing we do is convert the feet to inches. So 13 times, how do we convert feet to inches? 13 times 12, which is 156 inches. We added to the inches we already have. So if we add 10 inches to that, we got 166 inches. Next step, we have to divide by 12. After you convert everything to inches, you divide by 16, because we have 16 on center. So 166 divided by 16, what do you get?
10.375.
You get 10.375. We got a decimal. So what does that decimal mean?
Inches.
What did that decimal tell you to do? We're talking about material. We round up one whole stud. So plus, we're going to round this up automatically. It doesn't matter what that is. So now we have 11 studs. Mm-hmm. And then we have to add 1 for the starter stud.
12 studs.
So for this freestanding wall, I would need 12 studs for that wall. Mm-hmm. I am not adding 2 per corner. Why? Because if you have a wall that's standing up, freestanding, that means there's no other walls. That means there's no corners. We just have a freestanding wall. So we need 12 studs for that wall, for that freestanding wall. So now, let's say you have another wall. This wall is 21 feet 5 inches, right? So the first thing we have to do is what?
Convert the feet to inches.
Convert feet to inches. I'm going to come this way. So now we have 21 times 12.
252.
Yeah, 252 inches. Next step, add it to the inches we already have. Mm-hmm. Convert feet to inches, add it to the inches we already have. So now we have 257 inches. Next step.
Divided by 16.
Divide by 16 because it's 16 on center. If you take 257, divide that by 16, what do you get? 16.625. Anytime we have a decimal, doesn't matter what that decimal is, what do we do? Round up one whole stud. Any change tells me we need a whole nother stud. Because if you're buying material, you have to buy it for that whole stud. Round it up. So now we got 17 studs. And then we have to add one for the starter stud. So we would need 18 studs for this wall. again, we're just talking about a freestanding wall. I know I built a corner here, but I did that for a reason because now we're about to deal with an entire room. First, we had a freestanding wall that was 13 feet 10 inches. Convert the feet to inches by multiplying by 12. It gives us 156 inches. Added to the inches we already have, gave us 166 inches. We're dividing by 16 because the 16 on center. When we divide it by 16, we get 10 point something. It wouldn't have mattered if this was 10.08. Anytime you have a decimal, you always round up for material. We had 11 studs. Plus the starter stud, we needed 12 studs here for this wall. For this freestanding wall, same thing. Feet to inches, 21 times 12, gave us 252 inches. Added the inches we already had, plus 5, gave us 257. 16 on center, divided by 16, gave us a decimal, 16.625. Anytime there's some loose ends, some change, right, we round up a whole nother stud. They gave us 17 studs, plus a starter stud, 18 studs. So you notice, for both of these freestanding walls, we did not add 2 for the corners because we're talking about just a freestanding wall. All right, so now, let's make this an entire room. Now we have an entire room. If this wall is 13 feet 10 inches, give me 12 studs, that means how many studs would I need for this wall? 12 studs. That parallel is the same. If this is 18, this is 18. So now, because we're talking about an entire room, we add everything up. 18 studs. Thank you. We add every wall. We needed 12 studs here, 18 studs, 12 studs, 18 studs, entire room. And when you're working out these different shapes, you want to work each wall out individually before you start adding the corners. So now we're going to do 12 and 12 we know is 24. We had 2 of those. 18 plus 18, we had 2 of those, which is
32.
36 plus 36.
Action.
So now we double up these 2 walls. 12 plus 12 is 24. We need 24 studs for both of those. And we take these 18s and double it up. That is
32.
36. And let's put our studs there, which really isn't necessary. I'm not really worried about you spelling out studs. So when we take 24 and 36 and add it together, we get
60.
so we need, so far we need 60 studs to build this room. But because we have an entire room, now we have to add 2 per corner. How many corners do we have?
4.
1. Think of elbows. 4. So 4 corners. And how many per corner?
2.
So 4 times 2 is?
8.
So we need 8. So 60 plus 8 is?
68.
We're going to need 68 studs to build that room. Okay? Follow the process and convert feet to inches. Add it to the inches you already have. If you have inches, you divide by 16 because we're doing 16 on center. If you have a decimal, think of it as some chump change. It doesn't matter what that chump change is because we're talking about material. You always round up when you have that chump change. And then you add 1 for that starter stud if we're just talking about a freestanding wall. But when we get to an entire room, we will add 2 per corner. Treat 1 wall at a time. Treat 1 wall at a time. All right? All right, y'all. So we have this 2-bedroom. 2 rooms to this structure, right? So I labeled them A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So there's no shortcut into this. You want to follow the processing as we did when we were dealing with a freestanding wall. So we're going to start with A. If you want, just to make sure you understand what you're doing, pause at this point. work it out and come back and make sure you did it correctly. But I'm going to get right into it. So I'm going to start with A. We got 31 feet 5 inches. So I'm going to do 31, convert feet to inches by multiplying by 12. 31 times 12 is
372.
372. Then we add the 5 inches we already have, which gives us 377.
Inches.
And what do we do with that?
Divided by 16.
Yep, divided by 16. When you do, what do you get?
223,5,600.
0.5 and some other stuff. Anytime we have a decimal, doesn't matter what it is, what do? Round up. So now we have 24. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And then what else? Plus the starter stub.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that 25 over there?
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
You see the 2?
Yes.
Let's make room. Round up. 24 plus 1 equals 25. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I can't go no further than that. Alright, so A, we need 25 studs. Alright, so B is 18 feet 5 inches. So 18 times 12 is,
216.
we got 216. We have to add the 5 inches we already had, which gives us
221.
221 inches. Next step, we have to do what?
Divided by 16.
Divide by 16. When you do, you get
13.8125.
13.81 and some other stuff. Anytime we have a decimal, doesn't matter what it is, we do what?
Round up.
Round up. We round up. We got 14 studs plus the starter stub. So we would
15.
need 15 studs for that one. C. We got 10 feet 2 inches.
Mhm.
First thing we do is take that 10 feet, multiply it by 12,
120.
And 120.
120. Add it to the inches we already have.
Plus the 2.
Plus 2 gives us a
122.
122 inches. Next step,
Divided by 16.
when we divide that by 16, we get,
7.625.
anytime we got a decimal, we know we
Round up.
round up. So we would 8 plus the starter stud.
So
9.
9
We would need 9 studs for that one. Alright, so now let's go to D. We got 41 feet 2 inches. 41 times 12.
492.
We have 492 inches
Plus the 2 inches.
plus the 2 inches we already have.
494.
494 inches. Next step.
Divided by 16.
When we divide that by 16, what do we get?
30.875.
30.8 as far as I go. As far as I'm going to go, because I know anytime I have a decimal, I round up. So that would be 31 plus the starter stud. 32 studs there. Whew. Let's go to E. For E, we got 20. 20 times 12 feet to inches is?
240.
And what do we do with that 240?
Add the 7.
Add the 7. When we do, we get?
247.
Next step,
Divided by 16.
when you divide that by 16, what do you get?
15.4 thousand and just for the
15.4 and some other stuff. So we do what?
Go
Up to
16.
16
Plus the 1.
plus the starter stud. We would need
17.
17 studs there. Whew. There's a lot. Is it just me?
No.
No.
So F, I'm the one that's writing it. So F, we got 20 feet. 20 times 12.
240.
240.
Now what?
Divided by 16.
Yep, no inches to add to it, so we divide that by 16. 240 divided by 16.
15.
Flat out.
Yes.
So now what?
Just keep
15
15.
studs.
And then what?
Oh.
Add the 1.
16 studs.
Add the 1. Listen to the baby. We need 16 studs. Didn't need to round up because there was no decimal, right, Lily?
Right.
Right.
So we still have to add the starter studs, so now we need 16 studs there. What about G?
21 times 12.
21 times 12 gives you,
252.
yep, 252 inches.
Divided by
Plus.
16.
Plus what?
Six.
Divided
6.
by 16.
Where you see 6 at?
Plus 6.
That's a G.
Oh.
So 21, when you take that 252 and divide it by 16, you get
15, 27, 5, which will be 16.
round it up to 16.
Plus the 1,
Yep, plus the starter stud,
17 studs.
17 studs. Lily,
Yay.
tell me what to do with this last one.
Okay. So now 39 times 12.
H. 39 times 12, what do you get?
468.
468. What's the next step?
Plus the 4
Plus the 4.
equals 472. And then divide that by 16 and you get 29.5.
Now what do I do?
You round up
You round up, why?
because
You tell me why. Ling Ling,
I don't know why.
why? Anytime we get some change,
Yeah.
right? So we round up. You knew we needed to round up. That's all that matters. So we need to let the people know why we round up. Anytime you have a decimal, it doesn't matter what it is, you round up. So now what do?
Add the starter.
Add the starter stud. So now we need 31. All right, is that all of them? Thank
Yes.
goodness, yes. So now we just add all of those up.
Oh
We
my
add each
gosh.
wall. We add the studs that we calculated for each wall. So I'm gonna send it out to you. I'm gonna say it out. So we got 25 plus 15 plus 9. Am I going too fast?
No.
Plus
You're
32
going too slow.
plus 17 plus 16 plus 17 plus 31. And when we add all those together, you
equals
get
162.
162. So far you're telling me I need 100, and let me do a different color. Different color. So far you're telling me I need 162 studs.
Yes.
But because we have a closed off space, that means we have corners, right? We're talking about an entire room. How many corners do we have?
6. No, not 6.
Think of an elbow.
8.
So you say 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what do we do with that 8?
Add 2.
What do we do with that 8, Lily?
Add 2.
Times.
I mean, it's times 2.
So we need how many studs for the corners?
16.
16 for the corners. So we would need a total of
178 studs.
178 studs for that entire room. So we would need, again, 178 studs. Too many studs for me. All I need is 1. But that's how you work it out. There's no shortcut in this, y'all. Just like we did in the beginning when we're dealing with the freestanding walls, you work one wall out at a time. There's no shortcutting this, okay? You don't want to convert the inches to decimal notation and feet. That's what people have been doing. You want to work it out just how we were doing it. How do we do stud count? Convert feet to inches. Add it to the inches you already have if you have inches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Divide by,
12.
no,
No.
16.
16.
16 on center.
Yeah.
If we have a decimal, we.
Round up.
Round it up.
If we don't, do we round up?
No.
No, but we still have to add
1.
for that starter stud. For a freestanding wall, and anytime you're dealing with an entire room closed off space, we add
2 per
2 per corner. Bam. That is stud count. That's what you wanted. You got it. That's all there is. Why? Cause we done, y'all? Is that what we clapping for? This is it. So that's all there is. It's unfortunate, but it is fortunate, because I love being at home, that we're not in a classroom setting and I don't get to, crack jokes with y'all and be myself with y'all. But this is stud count. That's all there is. There is no more. I'm getting my Vanna White on. You a nerd.